Hello, and welcome to Apprenticeship Math 12 Hybrid. This is probably my favorite math course to teach. So if you're in it, I'm excited to have you here. The curriculum for it is just really awesome. The content's really awesome. I like the projects. It's just real world math that students are usually never saying, when am I going to ever use this in my life? So I like the fact that students get an opportunity to learn some real life stuff. So right off the bat, at the top here is the big ideas for the course taken from the ministry website. So if you look at all the Math 12 courses, you go to Apprenticeship Math 12. Here are the big ideas that you're going to be learning about in this course. So I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Mr. Kuchma. I'm going to be your teacher, your guide as you go throughout this course. This is a hybrid course, so it does utilize a workbook. The workbooks that you will need are both the MathWorks 11 and MathWorks 12 books for different chapters, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So if you've already taken a math course with me, then you're probably familiar with some of the content and you should be pretty awesome and kind of know what's coming for you. Here at the very top of the course is the course intro video, so hopefully you're watching that. This is an old one that I made when my hair was shorter and I was wearing a blue shirt instead of a green shirt. So this is the new one. And for starters, my contact information is up here at the top. So there's my email, and I do try to email you back by the end of the next business day. Right now at the beginning of September, which is when I'm making this video, it is crazy. I currently have 228 emails to get through, but normally throughout the school year, I reply pretty quickly and will be able to help you out. So if you do have trouble with something, you can send me an email, like even with like the exact page, like, hey, Mr. Kuchma, I'm working on this question on this page. Can you help me? I'm struggling with it, and I can help you out. If you want face-to-face help, you can contact me through Zoom. In the past, I've always used Skype, but this year I'm switching everything to Zoom. They have some features that I just like a lot better than Skype, which is super handy, and they're much more stable in their phone calls. So I'm definitely making the switch. I'm excited about that. You can add me as a contact using my email here, and you can download Zoom at this link for whatever device you're using. You can contact me during my office hours. They will be posted next week. For this week, it's Thursday and Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. I started a little bit late this week. Right now, I'm a little bit behind, honestly, with starting with the school year, mostly because of this cute addition to my life. At the end of August, my wife had a little daughter, and it is the absolute cutest. So she is a little angel. Her name is Eliza. And now we've got 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. So it's pretty crazy here in the Kuchma house. After the contact information is some more important stuff. So the policies and procedures is something that you should read through. I guess your first piece of homework. I'm not going to go through everything. You can give that a quick read through. And then I guess your second piece of homework is printing out the formula sheet. This is just a lot of interesting things that you're going to want. So talks about tolerance, the compound interest formula for in the business section, just scale models, and then the surface area and volume formulas, which is super important, and then trigonometry, along with a bunch of conversions. So this is a great document. You're definitely going to have it for all parts of the course. So yeah, get that. If you are wanting to potentially have some videos to watch to supplement your learning, there is a $30 subscription that you can pay to get access to StudyForge. And I probably would only recommend it for a very small number of you. But if you really, really love watching videos, then that might be something that we could talk about. You are going to want to come and meet me for an introductory Zoom meeting. And this is where I'd love to meet you and your whole team. So if you're going to have a TA or a tutor helping you out throughout this course, definitely bring them, as well as your parents, so that everyone's on the same page and they know how the course is going to work. So just be aware that, I want the whole team there for this meeting. It shouldn't take that long. I want to answer all your questions. I want to make sure that we've, are on the same page with how the course works. And then I want to get to know you a little bit and let you get to know me a little bit as well. So there's a bunch of important information coming up ahead. So this is where, please make sure that you watch this. This is really important. And it's going to be on how to get your curriculum. So in the past, we did something a little bit different where if you had curriculum funds, you could use those, and you can still use curriculum funds, but we've had such a huge funding cut to our school that oftentimes students won't have enough funds to purchase their workbooks anymore. So I'm going to show you how to order this book both ways. If you do have curriculum funds and you can use your PO number, that's awesome. How to do that is to use the curriculum form. I'm going to open up in a new tab, and you fill out all of your personal information here for your family. And then down here for how many items you're going to be ordering, the vendor name, all the stuff I have on the course page. If you're wondering about the curriculum family budget, you can look into NCOM, I think, under the parent account. So whoever's the parent can log in and find that out. So the vendor name, the vendor website, how many items we'll be ordering, the item names and the numbers and the prices, all of that is here. And then at the very end, when you check, I'm done, I want to submit this to my teacher, then you just copy my email and send that over. So that is all of the important information for ordering it using your curriculum funds. Now, if you do not have curriculum funds and you need to purchase this out of your pocket using like a credit card or something, you can still do that by opening up the vendor website instead. And then if you scroll down, they have a MathWorks 10, 11, and 12 book. So you're going to want to go to MathWorks 11. The workbook is $20. So you're going to want to hit quantity 1. And then we're going to scroll down to the MathWorks 12. And the $20 workbook, you're going to hit quantity 1. And then at the very bottom, you're going to pay for it. So there is some shipping fees if you're purchasing it yourself. But you put in all your information, and then you hit total, next, and then you move forward. So that is how you would order it if you were just going to purchase it with a credit card if you don't have curriculum funds. So back to the course page. Once you do have the curriculum, there are 5 chapters that you have to complete. Interestingly enough, 3 of them are in MathWorks 11. So there's the surface area, volume, and nets, the trigonometry of right angle triangles, and the scale. And then, sorry, as you can see, it's a crazy Kuchma house if you can hear the background noise. In MathWorks 12, there is 2 chapters, limits to measurement and owning a business. And then in addition to these 5 chapters that you have to complete, there's also some projects. Now, one of the interesting things that you'll note is that if you took Workplace Math 10, you are doing the same chapter again. I know, this doesn't make any sense, but there is the exact same chapter in Workplace Math 10 and in Apprenticeship Math 12. There's just a little bit, I guess, like maybe a couple like tougher questions in this version of the chapter, but honestly, it's all the same content. So if you did Workplace Math 10, you're basically only having to do 4 chapters because you've already done one. So I'm going to quickly say that if you've already done Workplace Math 10 and you've done the surface area and volume and you're pretty comfortable with it, you can actually just skip all the way down to this chapter. You probably have the practice your new skill form still from Workplace Math 10, and you can submit it in. If your Zoom meeting is complete, you'll be done, and you can go right ahead and go to the chapter challenge. You don't even have to worry about completing this chapter. If, however, this is like, you're like, no, Mr. Kuchima, I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely didn't do that. Then you would just need to do this chapter like normal. And now I'm going to show you how to do a chapter just like normal. So I'm going to not read through this whole let's get started. I'm going to explain it by opening up a chapter and going through that. Okay? So I do want to let you know that even if you do order the workbook and you're waiting for it to come in, I believe we have been given permission to have one chapter on the course. So I have chosen the surface area and volume and capacity chapter to be the one that you can start with. So you can actually open that up and you can just jump right in and get started. You can print this off. It's a pretty long document. So if you don't actually want to print, you can just you do this online and answer your questions that way. But I want to let you know that even if your workbook's not there, you can get all the way through the first chapter. Now, before we do that though, I need to let you know that for some odd reason, they did not put the answer keys in the back of the workbooks. I don't know why they didn't do that. In the MathWorks 10, they did, which is super helpful. But in MathWorks 11 and MathWorks 12, the answer keys are in separate documents. So if you want to print these off, you can. Technically, you'll only be going through a few chapters of these, so printing off the whole document is kind of a waste. But this is where the answer key for the workbooks are. They're right on the course page. Okay, so let's get started and let's actually talk about how to use your workbooks. So I'm going to open up the PDF version. I've got it of the workbook, and I'm going to show you how it works. So underneath the contents, you'll see the different chapters. The chapters that you're going to be completing are chapters 2, Limit to Measurement, and chapter 8, Owning a Small Business. But there's a nice little page here on page 7 on how to use this book, and I want to go through this. So right now is the most important part to make sure that you have your parent that's going to be helping you with this course or a math tutor or TA. They need to understand how you complete the workbook. Okay? So go grab them, pause this if you need to, and let's begin. Each chapter will have review, examples, and new skills for you to learn. So this is how the content comes across. And then you try it out with build your skill questions. Okay? At the very end of each subunit, so for instance, chapter 8, there's like 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. So at the end of each unit, so 8.1, there are practice your new skill questions. So your job in this course to learn the content is going to be to complete the build your skill questions, followed by the practice your new skill questions. Okay? The build your skill questions are first, and you can use any resource, any help whatsoever. You're just learning the content in this section, so it's not for marks whatsoever. It's only for learning. So build your skills equals learning. At the end, though, when you are completing the practice your new skill questions, it's different. The practice your new skill questions are like your assignment, and you are getting marked for these. So in the build your skills, you can use any resource. You can open your book. You can take a look at whatever you'd like. For the practice your new skill questions, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to get outside help from anyone. I want you to try and see how well you do this. If you have an IEP, this might look a little bit different. So if you're an LS or an SE student, we would chat about this in our introductory Zoom meeting. But the practice your new skill questions are where you're going to get practice, and you can think of it as an assignment where you're trying it out. So I'm going to skip ahead. Let's see if I can get to chapter 2. I think this is it. Nope. This is still graphing linear equations, but chapter 2 should be after this. Yeah. Okay. So limits to measurement. So this is how your first chapter is going to look. And as you can see, there's review about learning stuff. There's example. It shows a solution so that you can learn and understand what they're doing. And then there's build your skill questions. There's more review, and then there's more build your skill questions. talks about accuracy. You're learning a new skill here. Again, examples, and then build your skill questions. So you go through and you learn all the different things that they want you to learn for this unit, and you complete all these build your skill questions as you go there until you reach the end and you come across the practice your new skill questions. So now you stop and now you treat this as an assignment and you complete it. So you can go through each question. In this one, there is 7. You complete them, and then you can have your parent or your TA or tutor mark them for you. If you're going to have no one helping you throughout this course and you're kind of solo, then you can mark them yourself using the answer key. Each question will be worth kind of like 1 mark, but some of them have like A, B, and C. So this one would be worth 3 marks. Again, A, B, C, that's 3 marks. A and B, that's 2 marks, and so on and so forth. So that is how these questions work. And then you're going to go to the next section, 2.2, and you'll complete it. And then as you slowly get to the end, I'm just going to skip ahead. There's a chapter test at the very end of the chapter. You do not need to complete the chapter test. It is not for marks. So you will get nothing for grades wise. However, it can still be recommended because it'll be a good practice for you. And there's answers that you can take a look at in the answer key. But once you've gotten to the end of a chapter, what I instead want you to do is I want you to come and complete the chapter challenge that I've created. So the chapter challenge, you have to print off, complete in pencil, and then scan it in. You cannot access it until you've submitted your practice your new skills scores. So what that looks like is if I go here, you need to make a mark for your practice new skills. So if you're doing the solo, you do it, but otherwise your parent or TA or tutor will be doing this for you. So let's say 2.1 is out of 10. Let's say maybe 2.2 is out of 10. And maybe you did really pretty well and you got 8 on this first one, but the second section was a little bit hard. You only got 5. You would say that you got here 13 out of 20. You need to submit this now. So what I suggest that you do is you save it onto your desktop. I'm going to put one here. And then we're going to need to hand this in. So here's the hand-in box. And what you do is you click on the hand-in box. And this is where the hybrid version of it comes in. So most of this course is working in a workbook. However, the grades and the submissions and the course pacing guide, that's all done online. So I really love having this Moodle page so that I can have everything organized, which is very, very helpful for me. So you hit add submission here, and then you're able to drag and drop your document. So if I go to my desktop and I scroll down, it was chapter 2, practice new skill form. It's done. Hit save changes, and it's submitted for grading. So now there's something there that I need to mark, and I know I'll get a notification. And you can see it's not graded yet. I'll be marking these kind of once a week. And then if you ever needed to remove or edit your submission, you can do that. Maybe you submitted the wrong thing. Maybe you submitted your chapter 3 or something like that instead. You can edit if you need to. But what will happen is, if I go back to the course page, you get a check mark. Woohoo! So if you have completed this, now the chapter challenge will open. Before I couldn't click on it, but now I can. So if I go here, now I'll be able to print this off and you'll be able to complete this. It's 3 pages. And what you need to do is you need to have a parent, guardian, tutor, TA, supervise you completing this chapter challenge. And it should take about 2 hours. That's how long it's designed to be. Or less. Hopefully much less, but maximum 2 hours. You put your name on here, you put your date on here, and this is where the printing and scanning is going to come in. So once you've completed the chapter challenge, this is how I test how well you know the stuff in the course. There are 2 videos that I made on help with PDFs. So please go ahead and watch these 2 videos. Number 1 is how to use Camscanner. Camscanner is an awesome app for being able to take pictures of your phone with your phone and turn it into a PDF. If you ever are not able to submit a PDF because it's too big, you can compress your PDF and you can watch that video. Now, I know this video is getting long, so I'm sorry, but these videos are only 2 minutes each, so they take a really quick amount of time to get through. That is basically it for each chapter. You'll be going through and completing the build your skill questions, and the practice your new skill questions, and the chapter challenge for the 5 chapters in the course. And then there's also a couple projects. So there's a campground project after the owning a small business. It's really fun. You get to actually try to maximize profit and plan out the building of a campground with an inheritance that you receive with a big parcel of land. So that's pretty cool. Then there's also a section for a personal interview and personal survey. So part of this course is actually finding someone working in a job that you maybe hope to work in one day. So maybe you want to go into a trade, maybe there's like a very specific, I don't know, position that you're hoping to get in your life. You need to find someone working in that position and do an interview with them. So I've got some notes here that you can take a look at. And then you also need to do a survey of people and ask them, specifically adults. Hopefully you can find people that aren't just your parents. I want you to find other people out in the workplace and find out how they use math in their career. There's definitely certain types of math that are very helpful in certain things, and then sometimes you might learn math and never use it again. So it'd be interesting to get 5 very different kinds of people to survey and ask them how they do, and then you can submit your results here. At the end of the course, there is also an inquiry project, which is super fun and cool. And the inquiry project has some separate videos, so I'm not going to explain it right now. But essentially, you get to do an inquiry project, and most students I actually get to come and meet me on Zoom to get their inquiry project started. So at the very end of the course, when you get here, we can meet on Zoom again, and I can help you pinpoint an idea for your inquiry project, because that'll be super fun. So that is all for this course intro video. Hopefully you've learned a lot and are excited to get started in Apprenticeship Math 12. I'm excited to be your guide along the way. And what I hope to do is answer all your questions and get you started really quickly when we have our introductory Zoom meeting. So I look forward to doing that. We will chat soon. And until then, have a great day. Bye.